Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and you're watching Step Ladder. And if you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe my channel right now so that you'll receive the amazing contents and videos from my channel that I will be uploading in my YouTube channel. And I hope that you all are doing fine and good. And in this session, we are going to discuss and learn about rancidity, that is from your chemical reactions and equations chapter 1 from your chemistry part from your class 10 CBSE NCERT science textbook. Fine. So this is the part 9 of this chemical reactions and equation series. So I hope that you all have watched my previous videos. If not, please watch those videos so that you can understand more about this chapter in detail. Okay guys, without much delay, let's start our today's session. So in this whole session, we are going to learn about rancidity, about rancidification, how to prevent rancidity, and examples of rancidity, and also the causes and effects of rancidity. Fine. So first of all, we need to understand what is rancidity. So in the previous video, I told you about corrosion, and in this video, we are going to learn and discuss about rancidity, right? So rancidity is nothing but it is used to describe or to refer an unpleasant odor or flavor or a smell. So the smell is some kind of unpleasant smell, odor or flavor. Fine. It looks very no, it smells awkward or it has a sour taste. Fine. So let me read the definition of rancidity. Rancidity is a term generally used to denote a condition of unpleasant odors and flavors in foods resulting from deterioration in the fat or oil portion of a food. So rancidity is a terminology that we use to denote or refer for an unpleasant odor, flavor, smell, as well as for any unpleasant taste. Fine. So basically, rancidity, you can see it is a result from the deterioration in the fat or oil portion of a food. So when the fat or oil portion of a food is left out, it is left in the atmosphere when it is exposed with the oxygen or with the gases that are present in the atmosphere, it causes an awkward or unpleasant smell, odor, flavor, or taste, and that is a rancid smell, and hence this is called as your rancidity. Fine. So rancidity can be basically of three types, but the two main types are hydrolytic rancidity, oxidative rancidity, and microbial rancidity. Fine. So the types of rancidity. So there are basically three types of rancidity, and the two main types of rancidity are your hydrolytic and oxidative rancidity. So hydrolytic rancidity or hydrolysis, they both are same, and oxidative or oxidation as well as auto oxidation rancidity, these three are same. So these two are the main type of rancidity, and the last one is microbial rancidity. So these types of rancidity are not given in your textbook. Fine. So this is for your extra information and for your extra knowledge. So these are the three types of rancidity. So we are not going to discuss about these three types of rancidity in detail as of in this video today. So I will be discussing about it in detail with examples, their definitions in the upcoming sessions and in the upcoming classes and videos. Fine. So as of today, we are not going to discuss, just we are going to see the layout of this rancidity types. So rancidity, I have told you the definition. I hope that you all understood the definition of rancidity and the types, as well as I have told you the types of rancidity. So basically there are three types of rancidity, and the two main types of rancidity are your hydrolytic or hydrolysis rancidity, oxidative oxidation or auto oxidation rancidity. Fine. So these are your three types of rancidity. Okay, now let me move on with the next slide here. So as I said, rancidity is a condition produced by aerial oxidation of unsaturated fat present in foods and other products marked by unpleasant odor or flavor. Fine. So rancidity, it is a condition that is caused or produced due to the aerial oxidation of unsaturated food or fat particles present in your food or other products. It causes rancidity. Fine. I guess you all know about rancidity now, so I guess it is clear. So let me move on with the next concept here. So we have discussed about rancidity and the types of rancidity, and now we are going to discuss about rancidification. So what is rancidification? So basically rancidification, it is a process of complete or incomplete oxidation or hydrolysis of fats and oils when exposed to air, light or moisture, or by bacterial action, resulting in unpleasant taste or odor. Fine. So as I said before, that rancidity, so your rancidity is caused due to the unpleasant, it is caused due to the fat or unsaturated fats that are present in your food particles or any other products that you consume, right? If you leave that product in the presence of the atmosphere, so when the product or food particle or food substance get exposed to the atmosphere which contains your oxygen, or to the light or to moisture which contains water particles, then, and as well as when there is a bacterial action on the food products, it causes rancidity. Fine. So that is rancidity. And these reactions, so when these things takes place, that is your rancidification. So it is the process of complete or incomplete oxidation. Oxidation, as I said before, it is the adding of oxygen. So when your food gets exposed to oxygen particles or molecules, it means that it is complete or incomplete oxidation or hydrolysis. So hydro means hydrogen, that is your water, and lysis, which means breakdown. So breakdown due to hydrogen, that is your hydrolysis process. So rancidification is a process wherein complete or incomplete oxidation or hydrolysis of fats and oils are taking place when these fats and oils in the food, they are exposed to air, light or moisture, or even by bacterial action, resulting in unpleasant taste, odor, flavor as well as smell. So this process is your rancidification process. Fine. So this process is your rancidification process. So I guess you all understood this. I hope so. So rancidification and rancidity, and as well as the types of rancidity. Fine. So I guess it's all understood very well by you all. So let me move on with the next concept here. Okay, so here I have added an image for rancidity. Fine, you can see many vegetables here. So when these vegetables are left out in the atmosphere or in presence of the oxygen, when they expose with the oxygen, you are gonna see the result of rancid, that is, you are gonna get rancidity, or you can observe the process of rancidification. Fine. As you can see here, these are vegetables. So when they are left out in the presence of atmosphere or oxygen, when they are exposed to the gases present in the atmosphere, this results in rancidity. I guess you all understood. So let me move on with the next concept here. So as I said before, rancidity has three types, that is hydrolysis or hydrolytic, oxidation, oxidative, or auto-oxidation, and as well as you are having another type of rancidity, that is your microbial rancidity. So that is not an important one. So the two main types of rancidity are your hydrolysis and your oxidation. Fine. So I guess you all are clear with this concept, and I hope so. So let me move on with the next concept in this session. So that is your examples of rancidity. So let us now see some examples of rancidity. So when oil becomes rancid, rancid means it is an unpleasant smell, flavor or taste as well as odor. So this is your rancid. Fine. So when this oil becomes rancid, it is called as your rancid oil because of the decomposition of fats it has, or sometimes milk becomes rancid. When you are leaving the milk by not heating it, but you are leaving the milk in the presence, or when the milk get exposed with the atmosphere or in the humidity, you are going to see a rancid milk, as well as it happens in the case of oil. Fine. So when the fats particles decompose inside the oil, it's going to be a rancid oil. So there you can see rancidity. So these are some examples for rancidity. I hope so you all are clear with this concept. So let me move on with the next concept in this session. So we have completed examples, types, definition, and about the process of rancidification. Now let us see some effects of rancidity. So what are the harmful effects of a rancid food? Fine. So this leads to deficiencies such as anemia, hair loss, or dermatitis. So what is anemia? So anemia is loss of blood, right? So hair loss. Fine. It leads to hair loss and dermatitis. It is a type of deficiency, and then it leads to some kidney or heart disease, and then it leads to neurodegeneration disease that's related to your neurons, and sometimes it leads to cancer. Fine. So these are some effects of rancid food. If we consume these foods, so these would be the effects of your rancidity. So you all can have a look at this. So I guess you all can have a look at these effects of rancidity. Fine. So this will be very helpful for you. I hope so that you all are clear with this concept. So let me move on with the next concept. So next concept is, we saw the effects, now let us see the prevention. So what are the ways we can prevent rancidity? So let's see some ways to prevent rancidity. Using gases in packaging. So when you are packaging a product or substance, you can apply or you can use some gases in it. Fine. And using antioxidants. Refrigerations. You can keep your food products or some foods inside your refrigerator so that you can prevent it from getting rancidity or getting rancid. Fine. Vacuum packaging. So you can try out vacuum packaging also, in which vacuum there is a lot of space in your packaging stuff. And then you can use oxygen scavengers using airtight containers. So when you are using airtight containers, there will be no chance for your some gases or oxygen that are present in your atmosphere to enter into that container and spoil your whole food. So it will prevent you from getting your food particles or products away from rancidity. And then storing in a dark place. So when you're storing your food products in a dark place, it will prevent your food from getting spoiled or getting away from rancidity. So these are some ways to prevent rancidity or to prevent your food products from getting rancid. Fine. So these are some preventive measures that we can even take. We can do the initiative so that we can prevent our food products that we are going to consume. So I hope this concept is also clear. So you can have a look. So these are some ways to prevent rancidity. So you all can have a look at these ways. Okay, so I hope so you all are clear with this. So let me move on with the next concept. Okay, so here I have added a GIF, but before playing the GIF, let me say what causes rancidity. So as I said before that rancidity is caused when your food products or a product it gets exposed to atmosphere which contains your oxygen and other gases and other unseen bacteria. Fine. Bacterial, some kind of bacterial stuff. So that causes when your food gets exposed in the presence of oxygen, you're gonna see the result of rancidity. And in this way, these are some causes of your rancidity. So let me play the GIF for rancidity so that you can understand better about rancidity, so that you can get a better picture about rancidity. So let me play that. I guess it will be very beneficial for you. So as you can see, this is an example for your rancidity. So this is how a rancid food substance or stuff looks like. Fine. Okay guys, so that's it for today. I have only one question for you. If you can, please complete this question and post it in the comment section so that I will check all your answers and revert them back. So the question is, define rancidity. So this is a very simple question, so you can just try out and post it in the comment section. I'll try to revert them all back and check all your answers, and also I'll give my opinion also. Fine. So that's it for today. Meet you all in my next video. So that's it for today, and meet you all in my upcoming videos, and your lesson is completed. So all the topics I have covered from your chemical reactions and equation lesson, and that's it for today, and the whole lesson is completed. And I will be back with some questions and some exercises from your NCERT textbook so that we can solve those things. Fine. And please like this video and share with your friends, and I hope that this video was very helpful and informative to you all. So guys, the session and the video is not yet completed. I have more 3 questions for you, so you can even solve these questions and post it in the comment section. So that is, why does the color of copper sulfate solution change when an iron nail is dipped in it? Give an example of a double displacement reaction other than the one given in activity 1.10. Identify the substance that are oxidized and the substance that are reduced in the following reactions. So these 3 questions are very simple, so you can just try it out and post it in the comment section if you can post it. And let us see what we have learnt in all the sessions from the starting until the end. So we have learnt about a complete chemical equation represents the reactants. products and their physical states symbolically. So this is like a summary of the lesson, which is already given in your NCERT textbook. A chemical equation is balanced so that the numbers of atoms of each type involved in a chemical reaction are the same on the reactant and product sides of the equation. Equations must always be balanced. In a combination reaction, two or more substances combine to form a new single substance. Decomposition reactions are opposite to combination reaction. In a decomposition reaction, a single substance decomposes to give two or more substances. Reactions in which heat is given out along with the products are called exothermic reactions. Reactions in which energy is observed are known as endothermic reactions. When an element displaces another element from its compound, a displacement reaction occurs. Two different atoms or groups of atoms that are ions are exchanged in double displacement reactions. Precipitation reactions produce insoluble salts. Reactions also involve the gain or loss of oxygen or hydrogen by substance. Oxidation is the gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. Reduction is the loss of oxygen or gain of hydrogen. So these are some points. It is like a summary, like what we have learned throughout the whole session, from the starting session and till the end. Okay, so you can have a look at this summary too. So you can have a look at this summary, and I hope so this whole video from the starting videos until this one, I guess that we all have understood the whole lesson very well, and it is crystal clear. And this video was very helpful, informative, useful, and as well as interesting to you. If so, please like the video, share with your friends, and comment in the comment section if you have any doubts regarding this video, or if you want to suggest something. I'll try to clarify all your doubts, and I'll see all your suggestions too and comment it and revert them all back. And please do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you'll receive all kinds of notifications from my YouTube channel that I will be uploading in my YouTube channel. And please do not forget to subscribe my channel so that you'll receive the amazing, useful, interesting, informative, helpful videos and contents and notifications from my channel that I will be uploading in it. Please subscribe my channel. Your subscription means a lot to me, so that you will get like this amazing videos and contents. Please like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section. Please subscribe. Meet you all in my next upcoming videos. Until then, bye bye, take care, stay tuned.